Sanjay Jha, very serious charges leveled by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. India's lack of response to Pakistan during 26/11 actually emboldened terrorists is part one, weakened India part two, three, that it was influenced by foreign powers, pressure from foreign powers. The Prime Minister has based this accusation on the statement made by P. Chidambaram, former Union Home Minister, sir. How would you respond to that?
Gaurav, good evening, and to the fellow panelists as well. Since you have played the Prime Minister's speech repeatedly, it's only fair that you give me time to quickly rebut what I feel is the usual rhetoric that happens in the election season. Number one, as you rightly mentioned, Mr. Chidambaram has already denied that the way his statements have been interpreted are completely wrong. But here is the truth, and I'll give you that in bullet points. Mr. Modi is still recovering from the mammoth embarrassment and the monumental failure of our national security and foreign policy following the Pahalgam massacre. And let's not forget Pulwama either. The whole, muscular charisma that he had created, that everything is safe under his regime, has been completely smashed to smithereens. Donald Trump, by the way, as you rightly mentioned, has called out the ceasefire that he brokered, to use an American financial term. And Mr. Modi has not been able to respond to him man to man or leader to leader. He's tried to kind of divert it, but there has been no categorical response. Point number three, what do? We play cricket with Pakistan. Nobody in India is actually debating this. And Gaurav, I think you should do that. Is the significance of the Saudi Arabia Pakistan defense understanding or defense pact, which basically
on India
means,
First, we've discussed that. We've discussed that not just on India First, also Chakravarti. However, my question to you was Congress inaction during 26/11, and since you stay in Mumbai, you would understand the agony. I've covered 26/11. I was in Mumbai outside Taj when those Pakistani terrorists were neutralized, outside CST, covering it over those 3-4 days, and subsequently, the air chief then told me they had a war plan. They wanted to strike terror at source. That permission never came. And when, I'll get Syed Zafar Islam to respond whatever way the BJP may want to respond. But as someone who's been covering national security,
let me do
inaction
my part
then
first.
And targeting 9 terrorist camps now, 11 air bases and 6 radar stations. Do you see inaction versus this action, sir?
I don't think so at all. In fact, I would recommend to you, and I'm sure you already have, is please read Mr. Shiv Shankar Menon's book. In fact, his whole book is on multiple foreign policy issues, and
Memoirs,
he's commented on
decisions,
that as
how
well.
they're made inside.
Now,
in fact, I have a
point.
question for you on that. Go on, sir. Please complete your point.
Yeah, but let me finish my point. I think under Mr. Modi today, we have never been as vulnerable diplomatically or in national security as now. And I want to mention this very quickly. You have seen that the Pakistan Prime Minister and the General, or the Field Marshal, has been at the White House with Donald Trump. Saudi Arabia has a defense pact with Pakistan. Russia is supplying arms to Pakistan. We are friendless in our entire neighborhood. And Pakistan and China are on a serious military axis, which was demonstrated in Operation Sindoor. What has
and you
Mr.
still
Modi
haven't
done
responded to my
India?
question of Congress
He's
inaction when the Congress was in power. All the failures that you allege of the BJP, I'll get Syed Zafar Islam to respond to that. But you still haven't answered. Air Chief went to Dr. Manmohan saying we should strike terror at source, and no response, sir. That was my question to you. But Syed Zafar Islam, I'll come back to you. Sir, I'll come back to you because you've had opportunities twice now. Syed Zafar Islam, explain the reason and timing of the PM's attack on the Congress. The Congress and, several analysts believe it's aimed at Bihar elections in mind, and the Prime Minister, according to Sanjay Jha, unable to recover from the barb that Trump brokered the ceasefire.
Well, if anybody is thinking about Bihar election, then I must tell them that Bihar is an election where we are very confident of our victory. The people's blessing and support is for everyone to see. And Congress and RJD both are struggling in Bihar. So there is nothing to do with Bihar as far as the statement made by the Honorable Prime Minister in his speech. The moot point is that how many proofs we require. Indians know, every Indian know that it is the Congress which is responsible for this kind of a terror attack, and how they have not responded. So actually helped the terrorist camp and terrorist activities from across the border. They felt much safer that yes, they can do it and India will not respond. And this is something which is evident from the fact that the former Home Minister, Mr. Chidambaram, former Air Chief Marshal, has very candidly expressed that it is the Congress leadership in the government of the day decided not to respond. As the armed forces, they were absolutely ready. All the plan was in place, but they presented to the Prime Minister and the government, and they have said, no, we'll revert to you, and they never reverted. That only suggests how Congress dealt with the terrorism and how we are dealing with the terrorism. When the Prime Minister said today that we will go inside their territory and hit them, we have demonstrated it. We have done it not once, we have done it many more times. And that is something which is for everyone to see. It is nothing to do with election. It is how we view the national security and how to safeguard the interests of the citizen, how to safeguard our citizen, how to safeguard the interests of our country.
Fair enough.